Hello, everyone. This is your host, Eduardo Vargas, and I want to personally welcome you to another episode of Nuestra Life, where we sit and discuss life experiences with everyday guests. Today's special guest is Lima Towing's own Carlos Armenta, a local pastor for the Victory Outreach here in San Jose, California. Carlos and I sit and discuss how the street life affected his family members and friends, but with the love for music encouraged him to join the Victory Outreach and begin his journey to help others. Without further ado, let's start today's episode. Hope you enjoy it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Eduardo, your host. Thank you for another episode, tuning into another episode of Nuestra Life. I have here, I know him as Carlos, that one dude, my supervisor, my point man, apparently, Pastor Carlos, also a pastor, and how you doing, man?
Cool, bro. Thanks for letting me be on your podcast, man.
Yeah,
good.
Only special people get to be on, you know what I'm saying?
I feel totally
Boom.
special.
There you go.
I feel like a G. I feel like a G now.
Yeah, for real. Hey, but before we start, I want to give a quick shout out to Lima Towing.
Yeah.
You and I personally know them.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
They're actually one of the sponsor for today's episode, since we know them and they're super cool. I talked to Paul Senior out there. He said, "Yeah, man, for sure. Go ahead and talk about us and do what you got to do. So if you guys need to hit up for any towing, any jump starts, what is it, fuel delivery, tire changes, all the stuff that you need help with in desperate times on the freeway, on the road, anywhere like that, make sure you hit up Lima Towing. They're at 3591 Thomas Road in Santa Clara, California, 95054. Phone number is 408-986-8267. That's 408-986-8267. Make sure you bother Carlos. Call him all the time over there, but make sure you guys get the service if you guys need it.
Yeah, and let them know. Let them know when you call. Mention this podcast, and we'll make sure we hook you up with a good discounted price.
Oh, there you go. See, already making those connections. I like it. Senior's gonna be proud of us.
It's all good, baby.
You know what I'm saying? Well, there you go, man. So Carlos, how long have you been actually been at Lima?
Well, I am. I came in 2018, so just a little over 3 years. Got brought on board. Crazy is that towing. I'm not that's not my industry.
Yeah.
So I got brought on more for like office and management and things like that. So when I got hired, I really had to learn very quickly the towing world. Learning how to tow, the business.
Right.
And because originally I was working for a printing company, a grand format printing company. And one day to the next, man, they laid everybody off. And so I knew, I've already known the Limas, and it just happened they were looking for an operations manager. And, just through conversation, it was
right. Somebody to handle the reins and stuff.
Yeah. At the time, it was just more handling the drivers, handling scheduling, handling, communicating with some of our vendors and our contracts, things like that. Just kind of being the face a little bit, but at the same time, learning how to tow. So getting in the truck. I'm not a tow truck driver at all, man. So just learning to do all that, learning the skill took a little bit of time, but
that's crazy that you mentioned from 2018, bro. You honestly, it seems like you've been there for like longer than that. Like, it looks like you're established. Like, I remember when I first met you and I first started going there, it felt like, all right, this dude's established here. He knows about towing. And then training was fun, because it was like I was showing you some stuff, and I was just like, yeah, you're supposed to be teaching me, dude. But for a lot of you that don't know, I've been towing. Towing since 2013. I started towing for AAA, and then did that for a little bit, and then found the Limas, and I like it ever since, dude. I enjoy it over here for sure, dude.
Yeah, man. Hey, and we're lucky, man, that we got you on our team. I know it was like through word of mouth, but at the end of the day, man, you bring another level, to the company, and just someone who's established, and I'm sure you knew right away as soon as we started.
Yeah, we started chopping it up. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of be like, this guy don't know. He don't know much about towing.
It's crazy though. I mean, for me personally, man, I like, for me, when it comes to a company, it comes to, I believe in, even in my regular, not professional life, but I believe a lot in loyalty and respect. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna do what I got to do to make sure I represent the company and not just myself. Because at the end of the day, you're a walking billboard, no matter what.
Yeah,
You got your name on your shirt or whatnot, but you also got the name of the company you're representing. So if you messing up, man, it's making the company look bad.
yeah,
And so that's why I personally here, man, I feel comfortable. I feel like you know what happens with a lot of companies, and it doesn't have to be just towing, but just companies in general, man. You feel like just like a number. You feel like just one of the people there. You know what I'm saying? Like you're just the guy that they're gonna end up paying in 2 weeks or the week or whatever, whichever way you get paid. But for us here, man, I've since day one, since I met all you guys and everybody over there, man, they've been super cool and they've been treating everybody, like a family member, not just driver number, whatever it is. So
yeah.
that,
And that's one of the things I think that makes us different. I think from a lot of towing companies, it is a family. The Lima
mm-hmm.
Towing, it is a family. Towing, but that there's always the
Right.
pros and the cons of that. But at the same time, keeping everything business, but you're not just a driver. You play a very important role in the business
Yeah.
because it's a medium size. It's not a large. But it's not a small company either. It's not just 2, 3 drivers. There's like I think 11 or 12 of us, and
Right.
and one of the things that for us, we really want to drive home with our drivers. Like you do feel like family.
Yeah.
Because you're not just a punch in and punch out. That when you come to work, it's not you're not dreading to come to work. You enjoy coming to work, and you enjoy your coworkers. You enjoy your peers there, and that's one of the things the culture is one of the things that I've really
Yeah.
been trying to change, or just because I know hearing from different towing companies, different you kind of hear stories. You're like, and for me, not coming from a towing industry, but coming from, for 10 years, even prior, working into the printing world, I worked for my church. I was the music director. So even taking everything I learned about, really establishing a family culture
Yeah.
and a culture of just trust and loyalty and, hey, I got your back. And it's not a dog eat dog world. It's not a, hey, I'm only in it for myself. And, but we look out for each other. That's a culture of that I think we really strive to pursue, and it is,
And that
of course,
generally, right. And that generally affects the turnaround
yeah,
on the drivers because for me personally, from my towing experience, appreciation goes a long way. An
yeah,
attaboy goes a long way. So
yeah,
for I mean, I feel like I can speak for a lot of drivers that I know personally that they work at different companies because it becomes a brotherhood,
yeah,
for different drivers and stuff. And the biggest thing that I hear from a lot of people is they don't feel appreciated. They feel like the owner or whatever can just be like, I can get rid of you, which we have to be realistic. Everybody can be replaced. It's
yeah,
just the way life is. Everybody can be replaced. But while you're there, it's the fact of the person above you, the person, whoever is above you in either pay rate or title, whatever, they realize and they understand who you are and what your worth is, the driver. And so that's
yeah,
one thing that I like is because most companies you'll get there, clock in or whatnot, and just be like, oh hey hi, and then all right, get your truck, you got this call, boom boom go. For
yeah,
here, man, it's been hey hey Eddie, how's how you doing? How's the family? How's everything good? You need anything? You got any concerns with your scheduling? You need to change anything? Woo wop whatever, and
yeah,
that just goes a long way for a lot of people.
yeah,
And I think I think it's interesting that you mentioned that it's not a big company. It's a medium size. It's definitely not small. Which in a way, yes, it's true. But the only way I feel like I can go back on that or talk to you about it is the fact that maybe company size might be not crazy, but the name holds value
yeah,
because I've been to so many places, so many calls or whatnot, and they're asking for for senior. They're asking for the Limas. You know, they're how are the, even the officers or whoever it is that's out there. It's like, oh, how, you know, how's this guy doing? How's that guy doing? And it's crazy because you being around towing for so long, dude, you don't hear that a lot about from other places. You
Yeah.
know, people either they don't make the name for themselves, or the fact that they might be a smaller company, but the fact that they're putting in the work to show that they're worth keeping.
Mhm.
And so I think that's how, as an owner for the Limas, I think that's how they're being shown appreciation by the local law enforcement or the contracts that they're getting, is that they're feeling appreciated because they continue to have them and continue to help them whenever they need anything. And that goes down just from the owners down to you to management, you know, and then down to us, the drivers, you know.
Yeah, and I think that even starts with just making sure that, again, we have, of course, you're always going to hit and miss on hiring drivers, but making sure
Yeah.
we got quality guys, man, and girls, like just quality people. And I think we shared the other day, we were in a meeting and I really wanted to express, like, man, I feel like we got an all-star team.
Yeah.
And not to get, for you guys to get, yeah, big headed, but it's more of just, again, I think we were talking about the value and just feeling like, hey, man, we got a good team. We got a good team.
At the same time, it's not bad though to get that like little boost of ego though, because then they're, like I said, dude, they're gonna, now you're realizing, oh, okay, I got a value here, I got something worth, you know,
Yeah.
busting your butt for. And then cause it's gonna because what we're gonna see is we're gonna see that management or whatever are doing what they got to do to help us to make sure we're achieving, we're happy, we're doing. So that at the end of the day, we're gonna, at least for me, I want to speak personally, I want to do what I got to do to make sure, you know, we're doing what we're supposed, or I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you know, I've learned this. I've learned that when, people don't look at the driver or they don't look at the employee, they look at you as the company. So if you're making mistakes, they're not saying, hey, Eddie's making the mistakes. They're saying, Lima
Right.
Towing making the mistakes.
Like I said, it's a walking billboard.
Yeah, man. They're not saying Carlos keeps making mistakes. No, Lima Towing keeps overcharging me, or Lima Towing keeps sending, the wrong address or
Right.
whatever, or Lima Towing keeps wrecking my cars,
Yeah.
when we're transporting or something like that. So yeah, man, it's real important that I think for all of us, but I think we have a good team, man. We got a good team of drivers, and again,
Yeah.
we always strive, for a good culture. And I think that's why just little things you're able to, we got a little fridge, get a Red Bull, get water,
And
because we
did
want
that
to take.
the day I started working with you guys and I saw that, and I remember telling you, I was like, is that for anybody? Is that for people that work here? And he goes, yeah, man, we fill it up for you guys so you guys have your stuff. And you know, and I remember you guys had, you know, everything, the sandwiches, the ham, cheese. If you guys wanted to make a sandwich, it's all there. Like, feel free to do it, bro. And that goes a long way, and it goes to show that you guys, you know, want to make sure that your drivers are happy, the workers are happy. And for me personally, talking, I like talking to people, so I've talked to the other drivers, and you know, they've said the same thing where they feel appreciated, and then as long as the appreciation is being held up, they're gonna keep paying it back to the company. You know what I'm saying? It's whenever you guys need, and it was a proof or an example is, you know, we were working and you guys needed a driver to go up to another area. You know, I was more than willing, because you guys were more than willing to work with me when the schedule that I wanted. You know, from when we first met, when we talked about it, you know, this is what I wanted, and you guys, yeah, we can work with that. You know, and it's going one of those things where I noticed that you guys worked with it, so I'm like, okay, so I got to do what I got to do to make sure that you guys need, you know, you guys' stuff is handled, because you guys were able to help me out.
Yeah. And again, that's just one of those, I know that, hey, we're going to take care of you on the back end,
Right.
and on the front. Like we'll work things out. Because one thing I've learned is you can't always, hey, we want you to do this. And that's kind of what you're talking about, is
Yeah.
you make you guys feel like you're not just a number, you're not just a driver. You play an important, you're an important puzzle, man, to what we do.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I just, people just need, I feel like, and it goes to the customers too, because I've hung out sometimes there at the yard, and you guys get stuck with some people, man, that come in, you know, and obviously you're not going to get them at the right time because they're upset that their car got taken. But people need to also realize that at least the company Lima is not doing private property towing. They're not going out there and, you know, picking or pirating, how I heard somebody say.
Yeah.
They're not
Yeah.
pirating the property and trying to get your stuff. We're called because something happened. It's not our it's not our fault. It's the city or whatever needed assistance with transporting a vehicle. That's what we ended up doing. And then that's how they got to do it. They got to deal with whatever it is, you know.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is you know that in our company we have two divisions. We have one division is
Yeah.
our commercial side, so that's where we're contracted with with Santa Clara Police Department, and then
Yeah.
we're contracted with CHP. So those, and then the other side, which is the side you mainly work on, is where we patrol the freeway.
Right.
And we got one side where we're the angels, and the other side, the commercial side, we're the devil.
Right. Yeah, because
You
when
know,
they see the trucks, man, they're, well, at least on the freeway, they're happy. There's something that they're gonna be helped, and
yeah.
then and then it goes to your guys when you guys get stuck with it, you
Oh
know.
man, we get stuck with why did you tow my car? And again, we're just the impound lot.
Right.
So we don't go out there until we're towing it because either there was an accident or the registration, or they got pulled over, DUIs.
Right.
That's our contract, man, bro.
It's never a personal matter. It's nothing where that, you know, because I did commercial for you guys for a little bit, and
Yeah.
then so it's like it's never personal. It's we're called out there. It's not like we're going out there to, you know.
Yeah, we don't repo, we don't do private tows. So yeah, it's always because we're either called out by Santa Clara PD or we're called out by CHP for, for a number of, whether it be certain vehicle codes or
Yeah.
things like that. And we're out there, and again, we're an impound lot. So a lot of people, customers sometimes don't understand the full scope of the towing world. So they, of course, on that side they think we're crooks, and I mean, just go to our Yelp and you'll really understand people's anger.
Yeah. Yeah.
That at times where they don't, and that's not that, because sometimes when people don't like being told the truth, or just they don't like what they're hearing, they'll say we're being rude, or oh man, you guys are rude, you guys are this and you guys are that. I'm trying, but it's more of, I don't think they like what they're being told. They don't like being told, hey, it's $225
Right.
to get your car out, plus $100 a day for storage. So car sits there over the weekend, you're gonna pay good $700-800 to get your car out.
Right.
And that's when people get nutty. And but again, us as professionals, we gotta just try to keep our cool, because we know it ain't personal.
Right.
Even though sometimes we get name called and we're we'll say it in front of our faces, but it's still keeping the cool, and and just letting them know, like, hey, it's not personal. This is the business side of it, the
Right.
ugly side of business. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And it actually helps you, or anybody that does that stuff. It helps you with the customer service, because you also got to realize how you gotta remain calm, because at the end of the day, the car's not gonna leave, not leaving the yard until it gets paid or whatnot. But at the same time, is a lot of people just can't handle the whole being yelled at or being called certain names and whatnot. But it's the same thing when I tell people for towing in general. You're when you go out to a call, man, you're meeting somebody for the first time, or actually happened to me when I worked for you guys when I helped you guys up in the Livermore area. I actually had a regular. I had him at least twice a week, and I was just like, hey, bro, I was like, just get a new car. I was like, you're a cool person, man, but I don't want to, it is my job, but dude, come on now, bro, you gotta. Now you playing the system. If you running out of gas every other day, it's like, come on, bro. It's like,
You're getting hustled.
you know what I'm saying? And it's just like, dude. But
And that's something you learn, because even though the towing world sometimes it's big on customer service, but even though a lot of people don't think, well, you don't really have to be customer service, you're more car service, just pick up the car and go. But you got to be able to explain yourself. You got to be able to, be able to diffuse situations. Thank God we're not in the repo world, because if we're in the repo world, man, You know,
It's a
I
rat.
heard stories of, you know, guys
Mm-hmm.
pulling out guns on people and tow drivers like, hey, you know. And then
Mm-hmm.
I've learned, you know, well, there's a reason why you're getting repoed. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
Like,
right.
because you're behind your car payment. That's the bank, you know, contracting this towing company to go get the car because you're 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months,
Right.
you know, late on your car. And people don't think, people just think, oh, they're repo. They're just towing it for no reason, you know, but there's always a reason behind the tow,
Yep.
you know. And
And when people don't realize is actually when somebody gets their car repoed or actually well, not for the freeway stuff, but a lot of stuff, if cars are being towed, there is a system, or there is steps that are being done where the local law enforcement's being notified, hey, I'm in a repo truck today or whatever, I found this vehicle, it's at this address, I'm picking it up. So then it gets put on a list in the system. So if somebody calls it in, their car stolen, actually, no, it's not stolen, it's been repoed, it's being repossessed. So any car that's been on a tow truck, most of the time it's going to be registered that it's been towed and not stolen and stuff like that. So the
and then even in the city, you know, a lot of people don't understand why even police tow vehicles. Well, because there's always, you know, there's these vehicle codes as well. So if you park your car out on the street and, you know, you're past 6 months, in different cities is different times, but like
right,
in Santa Clara, a couple of cities, if you're past 6 months, you know, your tags are past due 6 months, they can tow it on the spot.
right.
There's an actual vehicle code that they write down, and that's sort of gives them the legal, you know, you know, right to do that. Or
To physically tow it, because I know for a fact, if it even if it's after one day, they can start giving you tickets.
yeah,
But to physically tow it, usually they'll give you the leeway to 6 months. And I mean, dude, if you can't, you got to figure it out within those 6 months, you know.
yeah,
But
yeah.
it happens. It happens all the time, and it's just the way people need to. I feel like people need to start living life in reality. It's just this. People are giving you chances. You know, you got to take the chances and stuff. And
Yeah.
if you're not able to, and I get it, sometimes you might not be financially able to, you know, then I guess you need to figure something else out to get yourself in that position and to work on it. And then if you buy a
Yeah,
car and you can't really afford it, then don't get it.
yeah. And
You
don't
know,
put it out on the street because
right?
that's usually where it's towed,
Yeah.
when you put it out on the street. So if it's on your driveway, you're good. When it's out on the street, you know,
And you know, speaking of buying a car, I actually just found out a couple months ago, and I went to go purchase one. They raise the not just the APR, but they raise everything, so the car's more expensive if when you do that application and you tell them you're a tow truck driver or a tow operator, because I know some people are
yeah,
sensitive on tow operator, tow truck driver.
yeah.
If you put that on the application, it goes up the amount of money that you need to put up. And so
Really?
I asked the guy that was there, the rep, and he told me that it's the banks are asking for more because if you're a tow truck driver, especially if you're one that's more than 3 to 5 years in the tow world, you have a better understanding on how to hide the car or how to get rid of it if it needs to be repoed or something if you don't pay it. Like you know how to supposedly get rid of it. That's what they told me, dude. And I thought that was crazy. So then I went somewhere else and I asked them the same thing, and they're like, "Yeah, it's a new thing that's been going around. We don't know if it's gonna stick." I'm like, "That's kind of, I mean, I get it in a way, but that's
Yeah.
kind of messed up. It's like because of my job occupation, you're gonna screw me by a couple more hundreds of
That's
thousands of,
almost, yeah, that's almost discrimination.
yeah,
Like you're getting discriminated because of your work, your field of work.
right." And I don't, I thought that was that. I don't know, dude.
I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
At the end of the day, we ended up giving the car, but still, you know, I still got the car. You know, and
You're like, yeah, I didn't purchase it.
you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. But Carlos kept calling me. I needed to go to work, so I needed to get a car. You know,
Scout.
let's go. But you know, going back to the customer service thing, man. I remember since like when I first started towing, man, I realized how certain drivers, um, how they don't believe in the customer service part. Like how kind of like how you mentioned a little bit about you're just there to tow the car. How some people think of that that's all you do. You know, I've experienced that, but the way because then I started training people. You know, I started helping people out and doing the stuff. maybe not all the way on the towing, but at least in the customer service part. I feel like myself, I'm pretty good when it comes to the customer service. I try to keep
Yeah.
it as professional as possible, you know. Um, the thing is, I told people, I'm like, does it matter if it's a '98 Honda, a '79 Monte Carlo, or a 2021, Dodge Ram or whatever? It's like you're gonna treat that like if that was your car. How would you want your car to be towed? Because that's how the person that again, you're meeting them at the worst time of their life right now, because, or maybe not the worst, but it's an inconvenience to them because now their car broke down or whatnot. So you gotta treat the car like if it was yours. And I remember I would tow, and a lot of people don't. They would just deny towing them, but I've towed, hundreds of dollars worth of cars that you're supposed to. Usually, you want them on a flatbed or a rollback. How some people know them. I've done it on dollies. I've done it on just the record, no dollies, and people are just like, it's like, dude, you really just, you did that. I remember I towed a couple vehicles for Duke's Car Clubs years ago. The guy he was doing a quinceañera for somebody, and they had the car, and it was on Monterey. This is when they were finally rebuilding the little railroad tracks that are on Monterey and Branham area. The guy went over the tracks, and the tracks were actually sticking up off the ground about 2 inches. Well, they hit his oil pan. Busted it completely open. Then it ended up puncturing the airbags in the back. It was a I think it was a 61 Deluxe. No, not a 61. I think it was a 41. I have pictures of it. I'd have to find it. But he ended up busting everything, dude. And the guy was like super upset. He didn't know how he was going to get it towed on the flatbed. Dude, I ended up dropping flatbed. I brought wood out. I brought everything. I even wore like specific gloves so I don't, get my nasty, greasy fingers on it. Loaded it up, put rags on it on the tires because they had the white walls and they were brand new, clean white walls. Putting my straps on it, like cleaned it out, dude. And the dude ended up giving me $200 tip. And I was just like, hey, bro, this is too much. It's cool, man. It's whatever. And he goes, nah, man. He goes, somebody else would have just lifted it, scratched everything. They wouldn't have cared about my bumper, or they wouldn't even have showed up. They would have heard what kind of car it was. And I was like, look, man, I was like, if this is mine, how do I want to tow it? How do I want to see the tow truck driver tow it? And it goes, and that's how I've been doing it ever since. And that's how I've, talked to the other drivers, and I tell them, hey, man, treat it like if it was yours, or even the people, treat them as if they were your family members. If this is your mom or your sister or whoever, and be like, hey, man, show them a little bit of respect and help them out as best as you can. Treat them like if they were your own family members.
And I think that's the biggest thing of customer service, man. People just want to know you care.
Mm-hmm.
They just want to know that you care about them. In the towing world, they want to know you care about their car and keeping them safe.
Yeah.
Or if it's in a different industry, I was in the printing world, people want to know that you're caring about what you're producing for them. And that's what it's all about, man. And I think as soon as we stop caring, then that's where we start getting a bad name.
Yeah.
That's even just the going through the motions when you're actually hooking up a car, but just that whole, I don't really care what I'm doing, I don't care about this car. That's where mistakes will start happening.
Yeah.
That's what, as a driver, you'll start doing some dumb stuff in front of them, So I mean, yeah, man, customer service is so important because I've learned that people want to know you care, man, before they care about what you know.
Yeah.
And especially here in the towing business, where people want to know. One thing when I got trained, I got trained in my car. So it is what you're talking about. The same concept is, towing every car like it's your own. When I got trained,
you actually did it.
Yeah, next thing was like, we're towing your car. Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
And at the time I had a Jeep, so I had to learn how to dolly it. I had, like on my car, and then when I got my little commuter car, same thing, learning how to straddle, learning how to do all that. And then sometimes when I train guys, same thing, like, all right, you're gonna take your car out, we're gonna dolly your car, you're gonna, load up your car.
Yeah.
Oh, dang, like that. Yeah, go for it. Or they load my car. Okay, you're gonna load my car.
which is how I did it. I remember you guys were testing me and stuff. It's like, all right, go go load up Carlos's car. And you know, it's funny. I'm glad that you mentioned your Jeep, man. Uh, do you want to talk about what happened to that Jeep?
So I had this was my baby. Okay, I had a 2011. It was a Jeep Grand Cherokee, silver,
Mm-hmm.
stock, it was stock, whatever. But I had it, loved it, you know, and I ended up parking it. Always parked it across the street. Well, one day around, it must have been around 4:30, a a concrete, you know, not the concrete trucks at Smoke, but just the
Yeah,
regular flat. But you know, they were on their way back in, like their fleet was rolling in, and all of a sudden I'm in my office and I just hear a BAM! And it was me and the front desk. We were kind of like, oh, dude,
what
what
was
the heck?
that? Yeah, yeah.
I thought my first initial was I thought it was the new guy we hired. Like this guy, I'll call him out, Richard. We thought we just hired Richard hit something. So
Yeah, yeah,
I ran to the back, and when I ran to the back, I was like, wait, what the heck? There's nothing. And then finally, one of the guys goes, "Hey, Carlos, they hit your car." I was like, no. So I went outside, and this was, it was like the Isuzu, the flat,
yeah. The
like
cab overs.
yeah, like the Fusos kind of, but
Yeah,
just the flatbed, and they had all the concrete, like broken up concrete, just all in the
just a
bed.
hauler, pretty much.
Yeah, so the weight of that truck took, and this was a heavy Jeep, and it took it at least 30 yards, 40 yards, just smacked it. Oh, and it took it all the way and hit the tree. And yeah, man, that was brutal. That day I was like, oh my God, this guy, but apparently he was working late, tired.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he was a primo, so they got him out of there quick. They got him out of there quick. So yeah, but that was kind of crazy, man. We had to recover. We recovered it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But man, dude, that it took it, and that was a heavy, because then after I bought another Jeep because I love Jeeps. I bought another Jeep Grand Cherokee, and that was trash. That one was like it was a black in 2015. You know, yeah, that was total difference, man. But I missed that one. But that one was kind of wild, dude. That
No,
one was like,
I can tell.
dang,
I can tell in your eyes. It still hurts a little bit, man.
it does, man. That one, I brought my firstborn home with that one.
Oh
I
man.
think I brought my second born with that one. So, and I kept it in pretty good condition. You know what I mean? It was pretty good condition. So,
I remember everybody was telling me there.
but
Go ahead.
I got a good payout. I got a good payout. Insurance took care of it.
There you go.
Thank God for full coverage. So they paid it out pretty well, more than what I expected.
Right.
But that was crazy, man. That was crazy.
Because I remember
Yeah.
I was parking in that same spot, and a lot of the drivers were like, "Hey, man, that spot is it's jinx, man. Don't park there. Go forward a little more, man. Keep going a little further and just park right there." And just be like, "Why, man? Just go ask Carlos." And then
Uh,
everybody else would be like, "Nah, don't ask Carlos because he's gonna start crying." And then I was like, I won't ask him. And then I forgot how it happened, but it came up. And then I actually I don't remember who showed me the video. If it was you or somebody else
yeah,
showed
I
me the
started.
video, yeah, yeah. And I was just like, dude, you're lucky there was nobody in there, man. I was like, that is crazy, because
And
he was hauling.
yeah, and it missed Lima's car because she was parked in front of me.
Mm-hmm.
Just so the way he hit it hit it in an angle that it took, and it missed her car. So that guy would have took out mine, and then my car would have took out her because he was flying. Down
Yeah,
Thomas Road. It's a an industrial road, so
yeah.
people are
You got all the big rigs that are going back and forth down there.
yeah, they're flying down that
Yeah.
road. So he was going full speed, and I guess he just fell asleep. I don't know what happened. I'm still,
I was to say, sorry for bringing it up, man.
I'm still salty. Oh, man, I love that movie.
Oh man, that is crazy, man. Well, let's change the subject a little bit, man. I I actually want to say thank you for you guys inviting me and my family. You guys had the Victory Outreach, San Jose had the little yard sale or small flea market, as I like to know them. Which was it ended what this last Saturday was the last one, or was the one before?
Yeah, this past Saturday.
This past Saturday was the last one, and I went to the second one. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went to the second one, and we did really good. We actually sold almost close to $300, and I was just like, I was not expecting something like that, you know. And then they did the car wash, and I met a bunch of cool people there at that place, man. And I got to talk to a couple of them. The couple of them told me their stories here and there, and then you know they did when I started noticing they were doing the car wash. I was just like, you know, how much you guys charging? And they're like, nah, dude, it's donations and stuff, and it's all for the men's home and stuff. And so, how long have you been connected with the Victory Outreach of the San Jose? What it say, is it a chapter, or is it the
It's a church, yeah.
right?
So with Victory Outreach, just a quick history. It was founded in 1967 in East LA, and it was founded by Pastor Sonny and Sister Julia Argenzoni. And they felt they wanted to start a ministry, like their sort of slogan or their vision was starting a church for junkies, for drug addicts, and
Mm-hmm.
their families.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how this whole ministry started, was basically reaching the lost, reaching the hurting, and not just them, but also their family members. Because usually, if
Because they're
one
hurting
gets,
as well too. Yeah.
oh yeah, it's a family. When one is hurting, the family hurts or the community hurts.
Yeah.
So that's one of the vision of the church was to reach sort of this demographic of people, where a lot of at the time in the 60s, they weren't being reached. It was kind of taboo to, like, try to, even in the Christian world, it was taboo to reach drug addicts, to reach heroin addicts, to reach, gang members at the time and
Yeah.
things like that, because they just felt like once a drug addict, always a drug addict. There's no change. And them being able to establish a church there, and then from there launching out different churches. So we have over 300 churches all across the world. So all of Southern California, NorCal, East Coast, Texas, Europe, South Africa, Australia, South America, Central America. So we have all over the world. And San Jose was established in 1979. Pastor Red and Sister Mitzi came originally from Orange County, and they came up and started to work here. So San Jose, Victory Outreach San Jose has been established here, for about 40 years, over 40 years, now 42 years.
So
And,
they're one
and
of the OGs then.
yeah, they were around where, like, Story and King was popping. That's
Yeah.
back in, early 80s, when, like, the
The
Cholos and the
Cholo
Cholas,
days. Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Yeah.
that was really popping. So that was sort of the generation that they reached. And then I came in. I'm originally from Salinas, so the trickle down effect was Pastor Ed established the ministry here. Pastor Herb got saved, and then he started a ministry in Salinas, which then reached my parents and my family. I had an uncle who was
Yeah.
a gang member, heroin addict, reached him, then reached my mom, and then I came. So I started coming to church when I was like 10 years old. I came young, and then got plugged into music. So me and my dad kind of helped me with the music. So I kind of just grew up in the church. But even though, like, I never experienced that life, I sort of appreciated and valued and understood, that
You
lifestyle.
acknowledge the help and the reach that it
Yeah,
had to people. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and not to become the type of man where it's like, oh, get away from me. It's, I know the struggle, even though I've never directly been, but I understand with the men's home and
You're
the
still
women's,
connected to it. Yeah.
because you see it every day. You see when guys
Yeah.
are fresh off the streets into our home, they're raw. Some guys are still kicking, some guys are still, and it's all good. And that's how we accept you. Like, hey man, just, you're where you're at. It's all good. But knowing that, hey, there's a better way of life.
Yeah.
And you're able to then grow and being able to change and give back to your community. And that's one thing. Our ministry really You know, we're a grassroots ministry, so that's like our bread and butter. The people we reach again is you know, it's a very unique people we reach, man. But that's the calling that we have on our ministry, is to reach that dynamic, that demographic of
Yeah.
people. You know?
And so what's the process of actually becoming a was it considered a certified pastor, or is it you have to go through a program? You have to.
I just got licensed in November, and no, it's not so much. It's one is you have to go to, you know, to it's our VETI. It's basically our education, you
Mm,
know, our schooling, and it's basically biblical theology. So I took all that. I started back in '09, and it's not so much like a 4-year college. It's within the church, and we have them all over. But then, you know, because we work and things like that, you know, it's you take a couple classes here and there as you go along, and you know, so it took a while, and at some point, the senior pastor sort of has to give his stamp of approval, like, okay,
mm,
after you get your units, you graduate, you know, the VETI, you guys basically you graduate, you know, your theology, you get your BA, then if you get approved by the pastor, then that's where you then, you know, you go, you sit behind them, you take a test, and then once you pass your written test, then you sit behind, you know, basically get interviewed with a few of the ministers there, and then they start asking questions and things like that, whether it be biblical question or just about you, you know, about just who you are
right.
and things like that. And but it's basically, you know, you're kind of getting vouched for,
It,
you
it's
know, because
almost it's almost kind of judging. Well, I don't know, maybe not judging, but it's kind of they're trying to see your character to see if it's
yeah,
if you're within the path that they want of somebody to represent the
yeah,
the
because you
church.
do.
Yeah.
Just like we're talking about Lima towing and drivers representing the company, ministers, and say you represent the Lord,
Right.
you represent the church, and you know, you want to make sure whoever's becoming a licensed minister can uphold the values, can uphold all of that, with the church values, the biblical
Mm-hmm.
values, things like that. You know, being able to uphold all of that, and being able to work in other people's lives as well. You know.
Yeah. My see my history with well, would it be considered a a Christian church, or what would it be actually considered in the terms of religion?
Yeah, it's Christian. Yeah,
It's a Christian church.
yeah. We're a Christian based, Pentecostal Christian. Yeah, you know, we believe in Jesus Christ. We believe He died on the cross. You know, so that we
Yeah.
all could be. Yeah. So it's a now different religions. You know, like us and Catholicism, similar, very similar. Methodist, Lutherans, we're all similar. Just little things here and there are a little different, but
Yeah.
for the most part, it's we all believe, you know, that Jesus Christ is our Lord and Savior.
Yeah, me personally, I grew up and was raised Jehovah Witness till I was 18 and given the choice to either proceed with everything
Yeah,
or to separate myself, you know.
yeah,
And you know, I ended up deciding to separate myself from it, you know, because I wanted to do my own thing and kind of learn, you know, my own stuff. So I did a little bit after the Jehovah Witness, you know. I still kept, you know, the books in here and there. Personally, now I don't own any of it, but I did. I tried, and I gave what I wanted to do. I gave myself a plan, a goal plan of give each religion at least a year, possibly a year. You know, so I did. I did go. I tried to go as much as I could to a Catholic church, learn a little bit of it. Um, I did Buddhism. I learned a little bit of the Buddhism. I did. I read a lot of the like the Muslim, the the books and everything. I even did the Satanists. I was reading a lot of their stuff, and I think for what I realized, kind of like how you're saying, where every you know, the Catholicism and the Christianity, similar certain things. You know, they all have their own thing. At the end of the day, they all believe in one certain thing, and you know, the higher power, and everybody has different names to it. And that's the one thing that I personally noticed, that they all do the same thing. They all believe in something. They might just believe it in a different way. They take a different route, but they all end up at the same thing, where they believe that there is a higher power and stuff like that. Um, right now, interestingly enough, I've been actually doing a lot of research on. Been finding a little bit interesting is the Freemasons. I don't know if you've studied anything with the
Uh,
Freemasons and stuff. Um, Obviously, a lot of people do believe that they are a cult. Some people believe they're a secret society. Um, I don't know. Obviously, I've yet to go to one. I would like to go to one actually. Wouldn't mind giving it a try and just sitting there and listening to what they have to say.
how do you even get into
So what I looked up, it says that apparently you just have to ask. You just have to
yeah,
ask somebody who is well, they're known as the brothers. Also, they're the Masonry brothers. You go to a lodge. I believe the one in, I don't know where there's one in Salinas or in Gilroy. I know San Jose has one off of Canoa's Garden. They have a really nice one there. But I was reading and looking into it, and it says that you just go up and you just ask permission to sit down in one of their meetings. And well, not really a meeting, because then it does sound like it's a cult or a it's one of their services. We'll go to
yeah,
service.
yeah,
And then if you enjoyed it, then you ask one of the brothers there to sponsor you. So then what they'll do is one person will show you what, I guess, the way or whatever it is that they're doing,
yeah, yeah,
and then from there it goes on and on. So then I started doing my own research more and more, and it goes more towards their whole thing. They do believe in the higher power, um,
yeah.
but their thing is more of self improvement. So they, from what I understand, and I could be wrong, I have to do more research, but they have Freemasons that are Muslim, Freemasons that are Catholic. Like, I guess there's different levels to it, but it's
Yeah.
what they want is self improvement. They believe the only way for you to get to heaven is for self improvement, is that you better yourself, and then you're able to better other people, and that's why they believe in the sponsoring of somebody becoming a Freemason.
Yeah.
The only
That's,
thing that some people are hesitant about it and all that stuff, and um, it's because a lot of it historically is attached to Hitler and all that
mm,
stuff, but only because he believed in some of the stuff that they did. And uh, Walt Disney, I don't know if you knew, Walt Disney was actually a Freemason too. But that's a whole different story with conspiracy theories. I'm a huge conspiracy theorist, bro. I can go on for hours and hours on
yeah.
anything,
You're
and oh, bro, I'm crazy. I do. I like anything that piques my interest, where I have to be like, that's not true. So I'm gonna have to look it up and
yeah,
just go, and
yeah,
it's super. I don't know. Yeah, but a lot of now people are starting to believe anything, so people are not doing their own research. And
yeah.
look what happened to like the aliens. Now that people are that the Pentagon is coming out saying that aliens exist, but yet if you realize, nobody really cares. Everybody's like,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Like, yeah, we already knew,
Yeah. Googled it. We Googled it already.
Yeah, shoot, Google already showed us, and Siri's and Alexa already told us a while back. But
We seen the TikTok videos.
hey, for real, TikTok. Carlos, you got TikTok?
No.
Oh, come on, bro, you
Yeah.
got to get one.
Man.
You out there?
I mean, TikTok is now like slowly going into Instagram. So I
Yeah.
get some of those feeds where like, so I was talking about all that,
Hmm.
the moon and then the little spaceship hovering the moon and oh, what is that thing?
Yeah.
I get those, but no, not TikTok.
You know that now that we're talking about like the churches and the religion and conspiracy theories and all that, how do you feel, or what's your opinion and thought about either keeping religion and politics together, or they should be separate? Do you think politicians should, the way they're forming the laws and for the government, do you think the government and religion should stay separate?
I think it should. I think
Mm.
it should. But what happens is I think you got to understand with politicians, again, it's you're always going to vote for policy or you're going to vote for value. So you're going to vote for someone's, whatever the policy is.
Yeah.
And sometimes policies are formed because of values.
Mm-hmm.
And then us, sometimes we have to take a look as Christians. Okay, which, you know, whoever's running or whoever the policy or things like that, sometimes you got to just, you know, who are we willing to support that matches my belief or that matches, you know. It's hard, man, because, you know, I'll be honest, I'm not, my political, you know, I'm nonpartisan. So I'm not a
Yeah.
Republican, I'm not a Democrat. People will say, well, it's because you're not, you know, whatever, man enough to pick a side. But
Right.
I just, there's some things I agree and don't agree. There's things I agree. And I don't, for me personally, I don't put myself in that kind of box.
You don't give yourself the title of what
Yeah, yeah. I will vote for if there's policies that I agree with. Yeah, let's go. If there's policies that match my value system, then yeah,
that's understandable, man. I've swapped in elections, dude. I've gone
yeah.
Democratic sometimes. I've gone Republican. It's at
Me
the end of the
too.
day, it's what, and I feel like sometimes it's more of a selfish thing because it's what's like kind of like you say, it's what values are more closer to me. So
Yeah,
I feel like I go towards more stuff that affects my life more.
yeah.
You know,
Because that's how you're gonna vote.
right?
That's how you're gonna, or that's how you'll like or dislike, you know, a
Mm-hmm.
certain politician. Like, oh man, this guy, you
But
know.
I think that I agree with you, or I feel like it should be separate because you can have one certain belief about something, and I have a different one. And I feel like most of the time now, politics are gonna be, or politicians are gonna be more of like, the church says to do this, or the Bible says to do this, but you can't force, or you shouldn't force, because I know a lot of people personally that like to force their beliefs on other people, and that for me, that's what for me is like, yeah, I can give up on you as a person, kind of, type of thing. Um,
Now we will always share our beliefs.
mhm.
Like for me, I will always like I've let you know this is who I am. This is
Yeah,
my, and a lot of the times I think what's real key, you know, for me is I can preach Jesus to you till black and blue in the face.
right.
But to me, the biggest thing is which we always hold, especially in our ministry, is our testimony. Is, you know, I can share with you, but I'm just gonna walk, you know, live my life and just be, for me, be a reflection of God's love.
Yeah,
And for you, I hope you see that, and people I run into or people I meet, I hope they're able to see Christ in me, you know, because we can sit here and boom, I can, you know, I can
yeah.
trust me, I can
Go back
preach.
and forth. Yeah,
Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's what's more impactful is, you know what, man, this guy, you know, I may not believe what he believes, but at least he's legit in what he believes, or,
yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
he's
he's
true,
true to it.
he's
Yeah, yeah.
true to it, you know.
And
And you know, and that's the thing, I think, for us, especially, again, the people we reach, you know, in our ministry, man, we reach people who are grateful because they were once living a life of, you know, they were down and out, man. They were, some people, you know, were given days to live, or they could have
yeah,
died in you know, in their whatever they were in. But being able then to come to church, God to get in a hold of their lives and then turning it around. That's why for us, you know, we're not a political ministry. I'm not and I think that's why, like, I'm not really a political person.
yeah.
I just, you know, we just love people, love God, love people, and we go from there, you know.
Yeah,
That's how we.
I definitely felt that when we were there. When I was at the yard sale thing, of everybody that I talked to, it wasn't, if they didn't feel like people were forcing their beliefs on anybody. They're kind of more just telling their own story,
Yeah,
and that's cool. I mean, for me, like I said, man, me personally, I'm not a very religious person at all. I do believe that there is something out there. I don't have a name for it, but there is something out there. At the end of the day, I believe in people that are like how you're saying. You're true to yourself. You're legit. You're gonna keep it 100 to yourself, to me. You do your thing. As long as
yeah,
you're being respectful, you're being cool. I have no problem with people, man. You believe in whatever it is. That's cool. As long as you're
yeah,
not forcing your belief on me, and you're like, no, you have to believe this. You have to do that. Yeah, no, that's not. That
yeah,
at that point, you're just like, yeah, you're pretty much talking to a wall now. You
yeah.
know.
Yeah, and I think for us, I think as a minister too, is we'll always share with you what we feel and what we know and
Yeah.
our value system and where we're at with the Lord. But at the end of the day, you know that if something ever happens or whatever, you need somebody to talk to, you know that we're here.
Right.
I'm here. You know what I mean? And I think that's for me, that's important. Whatever if your belief, but at least you know, hey, you can go to Los is always gonna be will be there, man. He's a phone call away.
Yeah, there's somebody there available to
Yeah,
for you to talk to and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah. And so you were saying earlier that you guys have multiple all around the world,
yeah.
multiple places. So I noticed you're wearing your Run for Hope shirt today. Is that
Oh
you?
yeah.
There you go. Run for
Mm,
Hope. Talk to me a little bit about Run for Hope.
yeah. Run for Hope. That is our pretty much our world mission. That's our push. That's our, we do it once a year where, we raise finances as a church, as a whole ministry,
Mm-hmm.
raise finances for world mission because we do launch out churches in, different parts of the world where it's hard financially for those members. So we try to establish, for buildings or for chairs or for homes, homes for them, like our men's home and our women's home, being able to establish places like that, like in Panama. We just established a church, pretty strong church in Guadalajara, South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa. So, and then we're establishing another like a training center in Amsterdam. So these are where our efforts go to, just to continue to establish sort of bases around the world,
Mm-hmm.
to continue to reach the world, for Jesus. So that's really what Run for Hope is, and it's cool, man, because we sort of get creative. It's not just like, hey, we want you. It's not just a charge in the church. Okay, we want you guys to give this much money.
Yeah, yeah.
We try to make it creative. Like with the yard sales, people will bake, people will ride their bikes. People will do different things just to raise finances.
Yeah, I
You
remember you
know,
were telling me about that. You had people riding their motorcycles from all the way up and down the Bay Area
yeah, we have
for the cause.
yeah. So that's like Ride for Hope. So we got a lot of our guys, our riders that go meet up in San Jose. They'll ride up to the Golden Gate Bridge, and then come back.
Yeah.
And they raise up a lot of finances. They're doing that. And then because we're NorCal, we have our sister churches there in LA, and the whole LA
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
NorCal rivalry. The Giants and the Dodgers, and so we're always like a healthy competition now.
Right.
It's how much they're raising and how much we're raising. It's sort of out there. So there's this healthy competition. So of course we're wearing our black and orange.
See, even when it comes to that, you got the hashtag Beat LA going down over there too,
Yeah,
bro.
beat LA. And but it's all just
It's all love.
yeah, man, it's a happy competition because we know at the end of the day we're raising up to make an impact in the world, man, to make an impact,
Yeah.
a positive impact in the communities around the world. So that's pretty much what Run for Hope is, man. It's sort of a charge that we do, man. It's a campaign, just
So
to
when's
raise.
the next event coming up?
I gotta check our calendar. We got a couple events coming up. I know we're having, I gotta look at it. We're having something at the church probably in a month or so. I
Mm-hmm.
know we're having like a 3-day service that'll be raising. We do like seminars and things like that, which raise finance. We just had a skate at Roosevelt Park, I think. We had
Yeah.
like a
I forgot his name. He was one of the
probably,
guys. He was one of the guys that was he was collecting the donations for the car wash. He told me, he goes, "Hey man, when you guys are done, head to Roosevelt Park.
yeah,
They're
it's
having a little
probably
skate competition."
yeah, Victor and
Yeah.
a couple of good guys, yeah. Yeah, so little things like that, man. We're out in the community, just doing that, and so it's cool, man. So that's I think I got to look at our calendar. I think a couple of weeks we got something going on at the church.
So when are you
Yeah,
guys gonna do guitar lessons for the cause, bro?
let's
I see
go.
your guitar back there, man. I got mine too, bro. I only know how to play the beginning part of one song.
That's
And
it.
yeah,
Hey, I only know 2 chords, 3 chords. That's it, man.
hey, but that song though, it's. I mean, I feel like it's a hit, at least in Latin America or whatever. It's. I don't know if you heard of Hombres G.
No, no, no.
Oh man, you gotta look. I'll send it to you off when we get off and stuff, and see if you can imitate the beginning part of it.
All right.
It took me almost 2 months just to learn like 3 seconds of a song. Hey, but when you hear that song play and you hear those chords, you're like, oh, I know that song. You know. So the one I want to learn is Chris Stapleton, the Tennessee Whiskey. Obviously, if I can learn that one, and an acoustic too.
Yeah, yeah,
You know,
yeah.
I can that'd be
That's,
cool. Cause I was watching one of your videos that you have posted on your Instagram, and I was noticing I was like, oh, he's a lefty. I was like, he's playing the
yeah,
guitar with his left. I was like, that's cool.
yeah, yeah.
Are you able to play with both, or you just
No, no, man. I'm straight left-handed. I do things right-handed, but when I play guitar, I'm lefty on.
It's like the joke says, huh? You can't do anything right like a lefty.
Nope. Right without left, man. Straight up.
Man, that is crazy though. So how
But
many
anytime,
how long you before the pastor you said you were involved with the music, right? So what happened? Where did the love of music come from?
well, my dad, he was a bass player back in the '80s. He played in a band. He played in a Tejano,
Ooh,
ranchera, cumbia.
that's how you got your mom, huh?
So that's
Playing
it,
the
dude.
music, man.
Yeah, so like Baila como Juana la Cubana, Las hijas de Don Timon, like all of those.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
grew I grew up listening to, man. So that just came natural. The music,
Is that when Saturday mornings when your parents made you clean the house? That's what they were playing that music.
for real. Well, my dad. What's crazy is that my dad is like Mexicano, right? So that's
Yeah.
what. And then my mom is more like she's second generation here. You know,
Hmm.
she's American. So I'm listening to my dad's stuff, and then Ramon Ayala, things like Chente, and then on my mom's side, I'm listening to Tina Marie, Rick James, uh, Whitney Houston.
Yeah. Hey,
So
but
it's a
you listen to some good genres though on both of
yeah,
those, man.
there was a variety of variety. But that's how when I was a kid, I was maybe 3, 4, 5, maybe 5 years old. I used to in the drums, right? I don't know any drummers back in the days, they never had the cover, right? They always took off the face of the drum, so
Right.
not the kick, but
Yeah,
behind
yeah.
it, and they'd always put pillows. The drummer would always put pillows. So I would always go to my dad's rehearsals, and when I got sleepy, I'd stick my head into the kick drum because it had a pillow.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? And I would crash out while he's kicking the kick drum and he's playing, dun 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 dun, dun and there I am crashed out at 5 years old on a kick drum, just getting my head kicked in.
That explains a lot.
And true. That's why I go, what?
Know what?
Say it
Exactly.
again.
No wonder you don't answer the radio when we call you. We thought you were sleeping. No, you just can't hear us.
I know. What? I gotta turn to my good ear.
Dude, that's what I'm doing right now. Man, I went to go get the physical, and they're like, "Yeah, you have like it looks like your eardrum is damaged on your right side." And I was like, "What?" And then she's like, "Exactly," and I was like, "Oh, okay, cool."
Yeah, so then after all that, man, I picked up the piano. I learned how to play piano, drums, a little bit of the guitar, and then just singing as I was learning all that. So that's how I just musically. And then my daughter, she's pretty good, man. She's 11 years old, and she's picking that up as well.
Yeah, I've been seeing your guys' videos that you're posting of her doing her solos, and then I
Yeah,
believe Miss Lima said yesterday or this last weekend she did the national anthem for you guys' softball game.
yeah. We had a softball tourney. Yes, yeah. So last Sunday, and yeah, she sang the national anthem. Yeah. So and this is all on her. I mean, like I try not to push
You ain't
any.
pushing it. Yeah, yeah.
This is her not. Now it's like, okay, do I want to? Now do I want to pay to refine all that? Take her into classes, which I want to, and I think she wants to. But this is all kind of her little natural talent. So
Yeah,
that's
see,
cool.
as long as she's the one that wants to do it, I think she's gonna enjoy it. She's gonna have fun. Instead of she's not gonna feel that pressure of you pushing
Yeah.
her and stuff.
Yeah, that's one thing I appreciated with my dad. He never pushed it because it came natural to me. He
Yeah.
never pushed it. So just like with my daughter Ava, yeah, it's coming natural and she enjoys it. I just got to make sure I'm not like Joe Jackson
I was
and
about to
or
say you're not Selena's dad.
Abraham Quintanilla.
Yeah, there you go.
I
I was
try
like,
not
what's
to.
his name? I know it's Quintanilla. What's his name though? I was
Abraham.
I was gonna say his name's Edward James Olmos, but that's the actor that played him.
He's the better Abraham.
Shoot. That guy, man, he's a historical legend as an actor too, man.
Oh yeah. Oh
That
yeah,
that
yeah.
that guy's crazy, man. So all right,
Yeah.
so you got coming up is the Run for Hope. You got a couple events coming up for that, and then you're gonna let us know.
Yeah, I'll keep
Um,
you posted. The run, yeah, Run for Hope, the actual event for Run for Hope, because normally we lock in like in Gilroy, it's Christmas at the Park. A couple years we were at Chrissy Field.
mm-hmm.
Um, so this I think it's going to be again at Christmas Hill Park again in Gilroy. So that's going to be in October. So
And
that's like when all our NorCal churches will come together.
and that's open
All
to
our,
the public.
yeah, that's open to
Okay,
public. Yeah.
you
Yeah,
don't you
just
don't have to be a member of the.
no, just come by. And then, there's game booths for the kids. There's, things like that. It's almost like a festival, like a cool festival. So yeah, definitely once I'll find the date and I'll shoot it over to you.
Yeah, let
Come
me know.
here.
I'll post it on my personal page, and I'll also post it on the podcast,
Oh,
so that way we get the information out there, man. Because I feel like people, man, people need to kind of just go out there and just show support on something positive. Even if you're not like, for me, I'm not a religious person, man, but I feel like you're doing good and you have a good cause and you have a good heart. So I'm like, why not? You know, that's why one night when we did the yard sale, man, we were like, let's help out with other stuff. We bought stuff from other people too. We were like, so that way nobody leaves without selling anything. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Because then that's a bad vibe and people are not gonna want to come back. So
yeah,
I was like, people were selling root beer floats and little books and here and there. We're like, hey, it's $1. Boom, here we go. Just
yeah,
shoot over $1, and then
yeah.
hopefully you guys can do one of those again. That'd be kind of cool. So we can go and
I think we are. We were talking about it, and we might do it one more time, probably next month or
mm,
early September. But instead of doing it like three consecutive, it might just be one like big one for all of us.
yeah,
Because then like you were there the second week, then I was there the third week.
yeah.
And for me, bro, I'm just trying to get rid of my stuff, man. So I was selling everything for like $1. My
Yeah.
old jeans, $1. Pairs
At
of
the end,
shoes.
that's what we were doing too. We were like, the clothes, a $1, $2.
Yeah,
Just
just
take
want to
it.
get rid of everything.
Because we left with 2 truckloads and we left with just one. So we were like, yeah, we sold pretty good.
Yeah, you guys, that was good. That's a good deal.
It's better than going to the flea markets, the actual flea markets now, man.
True.
It's crazy. But hey, Carlos, I have a question for you, man. It's so let's say if you were going to be left in an island, bro. What are 5 songs that you're gonna want to take with you, and that's the only thing you'll be able to listen to?
5 songs. Oh, one of them. Okay, there's a song I know you don't know. It's a Christian song. It's called "Blessed." That's the one I'm taking now. It's like a gospel song.
Mm-hmm.
So that one's number one.
So
There's
now you
another
got your spiritual song. So now you need your gangster
spiritual
song.
song. I'm good there.
Uh-huh.
Spiritual. So I'm gonna take. Oh, dude, I'm gonna take a Prince song. I'm gonna take "Wanna Be Your Lover."
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah.
That one. I'm gonna take a Bruno Mars song. So I'll probably take 24 Karat.
That's a good song.
Yeah, that one. Is
With
that
your
3?
Versace shirt.
My Versace shirt
Shoot,
for
your silk shirt.
sure.
There you go.
Yep. Loafers.
There you go.
I'm taking that.
You almost already got the hair for Bruno Mars, bro.
Bro, I'm trying, dude. This is everybody's like, how do you do it? I just pomade. That's all I use, pomade.
Mm-hmm.
But it took years to get this sort of trained.
Trained it, yeah, yeah. So you're at 3 with number 4.
I will take From the 90s, I grew up listening to, I'll probably take Montel Jordan. I will take This Is How We Do. This is how we do. Yeah,
So now you're about to party it up.
I'll take that one with me. And I'll probably take from Motown, I will probably take Got to Give It Up by Marvin Gaye.
Damn, no Spanish, huh? You didn't want to be cleaning nothing.
Oh, you know what? Yes, I will take as my sixth song. I will take
your honorable mention.
My honorable mention, yeah, I will probably take, just because I grew up, probably Baila Como Juana La Cubana. I'll probably take that one or Tragos Amargos. One of the, I'll take one of those.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with Tragos Amargos by Ramon Ayala. You just can't go wrong with that.
You can't.
Well, there you go. Yeah, there you go. See, ladies and gentlemen, those are his 5 and his +1. So he's trying to slightly party it up and still have some faith in him still.
Hallelujah.
There you go. All right, Carlos. Well, I appreciate you taking your time, man. It's getting kind of late, and I'm going to end up being late tomorrow to our shift. Now I'm going to get in trouble.
I might be joining you because one of my drivers hasn't called me back.
Oh, man. Like that?
This guy.
Yeah, man. Hey, Carlos, so where can we follow you on social media? Is it your personal, or maybe we can follow you in the church one?
Yeah, we can follow the church, IG or Facebook, VO San Jose or Victory Outreach San Jose. Go to our website, vosj.org. There you're able just to, able to see what our church is doing. And of course, you can follow me on IG. I am Charlie 4. So I am Charlie 4. And I think that's the same on Facebook too. It's the same handle. And that's it, man. So, you can check in what we're doing as a church, man. It's a great church, and it's a church on the move, man. So anytime you want to come and visit, Eddie, just let us know, man. Let me know.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. That's Carlos. I hear Pastor Carlos, and he's being humble, but he forgot to mention that he's an actual diehard LA fan. He's a Dodgers fan. I seen his jersey at work and stuff.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm just playing. So far I know that he's a diehard Giants fan, but most importantly, he is a diehard 49er fan. That's the only one that's important right there.
That's it.
There you go.
That's it. Trey Lance.
There you go, man. Hey, they're offering tickets for the training, man. We got to see if we can get some. We can go in between shifts. Well, we're going to end it with that one, man. And if you guys need some towing help, anything goes wrong with your car, hopefully it never does, but you never know. Make sure you contact Lima Towing. That's again at 3591 Thomas Road in Santa Clara, California, 95054. Call them at 408-986-8267. 408. See, I already forgot it, man. See, this is 408-986-8267. We're going to leave that in there so they know that this is not... This is as professional as it gets. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you guys have a good one. Peace.
Thanks, Eddie. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, man, you have a good one. Bye.
Hello, everyone. This is Carlos Armenta, and you just listened to my episode on Nuestra Life podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to subscribe so you're notified when all new episodes are posted. Also, please rate and review this podcast and share it with all your friends and family. Thank you so much for listening. Until next time, this is Nuestra Life.